Welcome to another episode of Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeird.
And I'm Justin Lemmy. Welcome.
I'm just wondering why Shawn just put the hood up over his head.
It's cold. It's kind of cold in the basement, and I'm over it. I've had a long week.
Yeah,
I'm tired.
It's only Tuesday.
Yeah. We're recording on a Tuesday, which is kind of cool, but it's good that Justin is able to be here today. We're going to come up later on. We're going to find out. Justin has been involved in a project that's pretty cool that he's been doing. Shawn has been doing a lot of impulse buying, so he could not afford
my wallet.
He could not afford the heat in the basement this month. That's why, because he spent so much money on his impulse buys. That's why he's wearing a hoodie and a sweater and the whole bit. Yeah.
So, about a year ago,
I
saw this product,
right,
and I was like, "Nah, I'm not gonna pre-order it. I don't need it."
Ooh, I can't wait to find out what it is. But you're going to tell us coming up in just a bit, because we have a discussion that actually is pretty good timing with Monday being Cyber Monday. Are you going to do any more shopping, Shawn?
No.
You're not? No,
not for myself, anyways.
Yeah, Justin, anything?
I haven't even started yet. I'm probably going to need to. Yeah.
Yeah. I know I'm planning to buy something on Black Friday, and I have been kicking myself to do this. But Black Friday special at Adobe for the Creative Cloud Suite has gone half off. I'm thinking I could do it for a year and go ahead and just spend. I asked Gloria, and she said, "Yeah, go for it. Try it for a year. If you could make money with it and it can do good, then why not?" So I'm actually going to be going back to Adobe, even though I'm loving DaVinci, I'm loving, Riverside, I'm all that. I'm going to go ahead and do the whole suite. Premiere, Adobe, Audition.
This is how they get you.
Photoshop, yeah. I mean, a year of it for half price, it's like not a bad $39 a month. What do you think? I don't know.
That's actually not that bad for the whole suite.
Yeah. Exactly.
Dude, okay, first off, I wouldn't be using as much as you might, Andy.
Yeah.
So I think that's honestly ridiculous, but that's just me because I don't use that kind of stuff.
Well, we'll talk about that more coming up. But first, Spies, Lies, and Cybercrime is a book by Eric O'Neill, just came out. He's a former FBI spy hunter. But he was going after those that were, hacking, doing nefarious deeds online. He took down one of the first big cyber hackers. And I got a chance to talk to him earlier today about, Black Friday, about shopping during Cyber Monday, things that we need to be aware of. And we wanted to share that discussion with you right now on Tech Talk Radio. This is a big shopping weekend. You think about it. We've got, Black Friday. You've got Small Business Saturday. You've got Cyber Monday. And, it will continue through the holidays. However, people don't just shop during the holidays. People are shopping all the time, year round, and people are getting scammed year round. And the thing is, how do you know when a scam is happening? It's become very hard to differentiate between an email or a phone call even, or a text. And one of the ways to get around that is reading a great book, Spies, Lies, and Cybercrime. Eric O'Neill is a legendary FBI operative and cybersecurity expert and joins us on the show. It is so good to talk to you, sir. Thank you for being here.
Andy, it's great to be here and to talk to you about Spies, Lies, and Cybercrime and holiday scams and why the dark web is coming after all our wallets.
Well, and I know that I have read that you're not a big fan of the term hacker. And, a hacker actually in the past had something positive. It was somebody who found a way around something to make it work. But it's turned into this term now, which, you put a hooded figure in a dark room typing. Whenever I ask AI to create, an image of a hacker, that's what it does. That's not what the image is today, is it?
That's right. And, I despise that image. That's the Hollywood image of the hacker, right? Yeah. And the problem with that is we tend to think, because we see it in all these TV shows and movies, that the hacker is this one person sitting in a basement, dark room, black hoodie, typing away at a keyboard, hits one key and says in every single one of these TV shows, "I'm in," right? Mm. That would be magic. That's not how this works. That suggests that this person has some mystical power to type away and somehow get into your computer. And it's not the way that cyber criminals are coming after us. So my idea of saying there are no hackers, there are only spies, is to elevate our thinking. Because the only difference today between a spy, and these are intelligence officers working for incredibly well-funded foreign intelligence services that are coming after us, the only difference between them and criminals is the outcome. Spies want to, they do the same things: reconnaissance, learn everything about you, work as a team. They're well-funded, very sophisticated, and they're numerous. Once they learn about you, they find the perfect way to attack, and then they launch the attack. They want to spend as much time stealing as much information as possible, learning as much about you, scamming you, fooling you to get as much money as possible in the criminal's case, to steal information in the spy's case. And then at the end of the day, the only difference is the outcome, right? The spies disappear and they never want you to know they were there. The criminals crash and burn everything as they leave.
Is it difficult to enforce the crimes? When somebody is caught, is it difficult to actually, put them through a trial and find them guilty of something because they leave very little trail behind?
Yes. So one, the anonymity of the dark web makes it very easy for cyber criminals to launch attacks and then disappear. And cryptocurrency allows them to steal your money and move it through crypto chains in the dark web faster than law enforcement can repatriate it, can steal it back.
Yeah.
The other problem is so many of these cyber criminals are sitting in countries that pretend they don't exist. And in fact, there's evidence that in China and Russia, for example, who are probably the biggest threat actors against the West, and that would be, Europe, the United States, etc., allow their criminals to attack us and give them carte blanche to attack as long as they don't attack where they live. So that's a big problem. And what that means is that even if we identify where the cybercrime gang, or I like to call them cybercrime syndicates, because here we're elevating above the hacker, right? Where they exist, there may be no extradition, and the only thing we have is to negotiate with a foreign government to say these guys are bad and they're doing this, and 9 times out of 10 they say, don't be hysterical, that's not true, we don't do that, even though we know, everybody knows that we get attacked by cyber criminals in places that we can't touch.
Now, there may be, mom and pops listening to this right now or watching this saying, oh, they're not going to come after me. I'm just, a homeowner here in Green Valley or around the world. Nobody cares about me. But that's not the case.
Not at all. The only thing criminals care about is whether you're vulnerable. They don't make money they don't get paid unless they breach us, unless they scam us, unless they steal from us. So they just are looking for those who are the most vulnerable. So right now, today, going into the holiday season, and in the holiday season, by the way, started in October at Halloween, and it continues all the way through Valentine's Day. I mean, cyber criminals take any opportunity to launch an attack, and what they're doing is they're using an old spy tactic called deception. So they're learning about you. They're going through your social media. They're stealing your usernames and passwords. They're buying them for pennies off the dark web. They're using your identity for fraud. And they're just looking for the most vulnerable. And that's why you see so many attacks that come after our elders and our teenagers today. Because they're not as battle hardened as, say, like me, a Gen Xer, where we just don't believe anything we see, right? And so, the idea, of course, behind writing the book is to teach you all the ways that the cyber criminals are coming after us, so you recognize it when that punch is coming to your face, and then teach you techniques to block that punch.
Well, again, the book is Spies, Lies, and Cybercrime, but cybersecurity tactics to outsmart hackers, spies, and disarm scammers, which is going to be really important. Now, as people go into the holiday season, one of those that I originally thought, yeah, that's hard to do, the AI-based imposter attacks. And I used to think, well, okay, they have to call you, they make you say yes or whatever. Recently I tested out Sora, which is that video generation AI platform. And I was so amazed, Eric, the fact that I could create an AI image of myself, but sounded like me by repeating 3 numbers while it was taking that video to create that cameo. And that's all it takes to create that voice that sounds just like somebody. But people have been using this AI imposter-based attack to scam people out of money. Can you tell us a little more about how that works?
Yeah, this attack is spreading like wildfire. And you're right. It's incredibly cheap. Now you can do it for free if you want to create your own AI avatar that will say and do anything you can. It's made scrolling through social media exhausting because nobody is actually on camera anymore. They're using their AI avatar to say and do everything. And these avatars, it just takes one photo and a little snippet of the voice, and you can create an avatar that would look just like me right here, or sound just like me. I've done it to myself so I can demonstrate it on stage. Here's an example of an attack so people can know what's coming, because this is taking off and it's just going to get worse, especially as we start to travel during the holidays. You get a call. So here's an example of an attack that I'm hearing from people left and right that are fortunately not falling for it because they know me and they've read some of my writing. But you get a call from, for example, if it was me, my daughter. She's 17, she's driving, and she's a runner. So she's always away, and I can't contact her when she's running. And they've tried to figure out people's schedule by looking at social media. This is an attack on a family, not an individual. And so they'll launch this attack when she's off, down a trail and can't answer her phone because she doesn't have it. Call me. I get a call. It's my daughter's voice. Dad, I screwed up. I got in an accident. It's a car wreck. I think I really hurt the other person. I think she's pregnant. I don't know. You've got to help me. She's crying. Your heart starts slamming in your chest because that's what any parent would feel. And then the phone gets handed over and you hear this male voice who says, I'm the public defender assigned to her case. This is a very serious case. I've got to go in front of the judge in the next 5 minutes and argue for bail. I need you to wire me. It's the only way you can get it to me fast enough. $4,000 right away so I can make bail. Otherwise, I'm sorry, we miss our chance. And she's going to be in this prison for the next 2 weeks. And this is a very dangerous prison. She won't be okay. Right? Wow. So as a parent, what do you do? Yeah. That's incredibly stressful. And when you say, hold on a minute, they say, you don't have a minute. They push a few techniques. Emotion, right? They want you scared. Urgency. They do not want to give you time to think. It's the same way if you're getting attacked in a text-based attack or an attack on social media or you're chatting with someone on email. They never want you to have time to think. That urgency is a real tell that it might be a deepfake attack. And they're pushing you into doing something you don't want to do, which is send money in a wire. Would a legitimate public defender be asking you to send a wire, right? They would be telling you to go, what bail bondsman you should call, right? Yep. But people don't know this, and so they fall for it. And there are many different iterations and styles of this attack, depending on the family. And it is costing people here millions and millions of dollars across the country.
Is it too late for people to rethink some of that stuff that they've posted on Facebook? You remember years ago, I think we all do, oh, what street did you live on? What
right.
color is your favorite color? We didn't think anything of it. People, okay, I'll go ahead and answer. And that stuff is out there in the public.
Well, Andy, see, the fact is, those viral things come around because of cyber criminals.
Yeah.
They put them out there because they want to steal that information. There's one that was going around really recently. It was like, what's the name of your grandma? Right? That would be your mother's maiden name. What's your grandma's last name? And everybody's like, my grandma's last name is really unique. That's a viral trend. Those trends are started by criminals so that they can get information they can use to reset or guess or cheat your passwords. Like I said, they're very clever. And they don't even have to be clever anymore because they're using AI agents to be clever for them and launch these attacks. The difference between you and me when we're using like Anthropic's Claude or ChatGPT is that there are guardrails. If you say, and there actually are kind of ways to get around this, but if you say, put together a perfect script to launch a cybercrime attack against individuals that's going to make me $1,000 in the next week. The AI hopefully will respond, I can't do that, right?
Right.
But the dark web AI has no guardrails. It is just mean and evil, and it'll happily help the cyber criminal do all of these things.
And we like to think that, well, I don't put my info on Facebook or I'm not on it. I've had friends that say I got rid of it. But the fact is hacks, spies that get into our bank accounts, that get into our hospitals, that get into, our real estate companies that find out where we have a house, where we have all that info. They take that info and then they use what is available on the dark web to then attack us. So just because we're not on social media or we don't talk to others that way, we don't know the information that has been, taken from other companies, right?
That's exactly true. Your data, even if you protect your data with 100% accuracy, you're a total Luddite, and you have a flip phone, you use a typewriter, you don't use a computer, and you're never on the internet. That doesn't mean that some organization that you've given your data to and trusted with your data hasn't just lost it. And that's why I talk about how the password is the most useless security device in human history. Passwords actually lead to more cybercrime than they say, because people rely on them. They believe that if they have a good password, they're going to be protected, and they're not. AI can crack shorter passwords. If your password isn't at least 12 characters long with capitals and lower cases and different symbols, AI can crack it. The bad guys also can use AI to guess your password by going through your social media. But let's say you're not on social media. Well, you have usernames and passwords for things, and somebody lost it. And we tend to use the same amazing password for everything because we don't want to remember a lot of passwords. So that's why I say the number one most important thing you can do to protect your information from being lost there is turn on two-factor authentication.
Absolutely.
Everywhere, 100%. I know so many people say this, and we get the cybersecurity training, and it's like the first thing, but it is so critical. It will save you. It has saved me so many times when I've accidentally just clicked through on something that was just supremely clever by cybercriminals and entered my username and password, and then realized, oh, this is a scam, but they could get me because I had two-factor authentication. And for anybody who doesn't know what that means, that's where you get that extra text to your phone, or even better, you open a special app on your phone and you get a rotating number. It's usually 6 digits and it changes every 20 seconds. And that is your actual key. And there's no way for the bad guys to get that except for like some Mission Impossible tactics, which they're probably not going to use against you.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, when it comes to the emails we get, especially now, this weekend is big. We're going to get emails from, Amazon, Target, Best Buy, whatever, saying,
Yes.
hey, we've got these great deals, but you got to act now. There's that urgency. And I would think that some of these companies would say, no, we're not doing that. Just, hey, come to our website, do it that way. But people still do that, and they still see that, oh, I got to click that link to be able to get it today.
Right.
That's not the smartest thing to do, is it?
Right. I don't click links in anything that comes to me unsolicited. Right. Yeah. And in the book, I talk about becoming an email archaeologist, which is what we all have to do. Most of our business is transacted on email. It's still the number one way that humans communicate is through email. I think that's changing. It's moving to text, but right now it is still email, and we tend to trust it. And that is a terrible thing because email is not trustworthy. We have to be incredibly careful on email. So when you get an email, what you need to do is look at it like it's a viper about to bite you and see if you can trust it. So start with I don't trust you email, and then scrutinize it. Make sure it comes from the person that says it comes from. If it's like, for example, I think you used Walmart, right? And Walmart is sending you a deal, 70% off, and it's the exact thing that you wanted. But it's only available for the next hour, right? There's that word again, urgency. Too good to be true. And if it's too good to be true and there's all this pressure and urgency, it is probably not true. And I guarantee you, if you look at the sender of that email, it's not going to be the real Walmart. And so what's the safest thing to do? Delete the email, go to www.walmart.com and see if the deal is there. It's not going to be in an email and not on the store's website. That never happens. That's not the way these things work.
All right, one more I definitely want to talk about is smishing. People say, well, what the heck is smishing? I think we've got those texts where, well, of course, the one that was going around recently was you got a ticket while you were driving and you were on a toll road or something, and we saw you. So how does somebody react to smishing?
Yeah, I'm looking on my phone right now because, I'm going to read you a smishing text that I just got as we're talking. Wow. Sorry, Noah. I saw online you're in the kids' furniture business. I was wondering if we could chat about it. A complete and utter non sequitur to anything that has to do with me. I'm not Noah. I'm not in the furniture business. So why does this text come to me? The fact is that this smishing text is coming to everyone, thousands and thousands of people at one time. And what the cyber criminals are doing is they're sitting there in a dark web call center waiting for someone really polite to reply. I'm sorry, this isn't Noah. You must have the wrong number. And then they want to become your friend.
Yeah.
They want to become your best friend. And they will chat with you for weeks. They're chatting with dozens and dozens of people at the same time. And then what they do is they eventually say, usually, I've got this investment opportunity. You should really try it out. Now, they've gained your trust. They've groomed you a little bit. And now you start investing. And you invest a little, and they show you this perfect web portal that shows your money going up and up and up and up and up. And once they've got all of the money that they can get out of you, once you start being hesitant, once you say, I've already given you $50,000, I'm good. Like, I see that it's growing, but this is great. Or you say, I want to take some out, right? They disappear. And you've been what's called pig butchered. The other one you noticed, right, or you noted, is this insane toll booth scam that we're getting. Now, what did we talk about earlier? Here's urgency, pressure, right? And fear. What the toll booth scan says is, you went through a toll booth and you didn't pay. If you don't pay the fine, then we're going to revoke your license, your driver's license. You won't be able to drive. And you have 2 days to pay the fine, or sometimes 2 hours to pay the fine. They're all different. Yep. And if you pay right away, you can pay 50% of the fine. So a little bit of benefit too. And people are paying it. It's a Chinese cybercrime gang, and they made over $1 billion off of U.S. People with phones last year.
We look at the disruption. There's also disruptors that are, just trying to cause havoc. I work for a radio group that was hacked. And they were ransomware, the whole bit, about 2 years ago, and it was awful. Now, the recent hack of a radio station where they got into what's called a barracks and were able to transmit their own ideologies across the net. That was kind of a mess as well. So there are also those that maybe they don't want to get money. Maybe they don't care. They just want to be disruptors. But if you're a business owner, this can cost you a lot of money.
Oh, certainly. I mean, there are hacktivists, and if they're angry at you because of something you said politically, I run a company called the Georgetown Group, and we do investigative services, and we do protective vulnerability assessments for companies. And one of the things we look for is, what are you putting out in the public? What are you putting on social media? And is some of the stuff you're saying overly political, or one of your executives is overly political on one side or the other, and you're going to get the attention of people who want to do your harm? Because one of the easiest ways to do someone harm now is with a cyber attack. Yeah. It's easy. It could be a ransomware attack. It could be data theft. It could be a theft of information that embarrasses you or hurts your business that's sent to your competitor or published online. So we do need to be very careful about that. And yes, ideology can drive these attacks. It can also drive attacks from the inside. You could have a trusted insider who decides that they don't like you or your corporate structure or what you're doing, and that they're going to make sure the world knows how bad you are, and manufacture things. So yes, we have to be very careful with our data, but also what we put out in the world. And that's really important personally as well.
What could you tell our listeners, that one piece of advice to be safe for, throughout the end of the year?
Certainly. So the biggest thing that we could do, the biggest thing you can do, is be your own spy hunter, right? Inspect everything. Be incredibly careful, especially now during this time of year when the scams are coming hard and fast. If it looks too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true, right? You don't get 70% off deals. And if you do, it's going to be on their website. Turn on two-factor authentication. And then finally, just one little extra thing you can do, use a credit card. Use a credit card. You get fraud protection with a credit card. Don't ever use your debit card, because if they steal your debit card and they will get your, secret code PIN from you, then they'll trick you into giving you that. Then they will use it, and when they use it, they can empty your entire bank account, and you might not have the same fraud protection you will get from a credit card. Never send a wire, never send crypto, and never send gift cards. These are the 3 main ways that cybercriminals will try to get money from you.
Excellent. Great stuff. Again, the book is available now. It is titled Spies, Lies, and Cybercrime, Cybersecurity Tactics to Outsmart Hackers and Disarm Scammers. Eric O'Neill, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Andy, it was wonderful to be with you. Stay safe out there.
So imagine the year, I don't even remember what year it came out.
Yeah.
1996, maybe?
1996. Wow, that's a long time ago.
Is 1996.
You're going to the store, you go
Wait,
and
do
pick
that
up
again.
your...
Do that again, Justin. That was great narrative.
The year is 1996.
I think that was the year it came out.
A young Shawn DeWeird ventures into
Picture,
a GameStop.
yeah. And this is where our story begins.
Did either of you own a Nintendo 64?
Oh, yeah, of course. GoldenEye, hello.
I did, but it got stolen. Somebody burglarized my house.
Dang,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah.
Anyways, so about a year ago, this company called Analog 3D created a brand new Nintendo 64 that will play the original cartridges,
Right?
wireless controller support, wired controller support, original controller support, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, the whole thing. I bought one.
I knew it.
What was it, like 30, 40 bucks, though?
Oh, God.
Oh,
It was
right.
$239.
that's not that bad.
I have a handful of Nintendo 64 games. So the kicker is, right, I bought it yesterday because they pre-orders were a year ago. And
Right.
all the pre-orders are shipping now. And they finally restocked yesterday.
Cool.
And I was like, I wanted one. I told Caitlin I wanted one when they were released. I was like, did I really want it then? Do I want it now? So I said, the heck with it. I'm going to buy it. I can't find my Nintendo 64 games.
What?
Oh,
wait. Do you
no.
have physical?
I do, somewhere in my house.
Wait, they're not up in your attic?
I don't know. I've been hunting all day today. I bought it yesterday. I cannot find my original cartridges.
And the reason you bought it was so you could play your original games. Right?
Yes.
Do you have a
So
storage
I-
locker somewhere? Or?
I don't know. It's either somebody borrowed them and I didn't get them back. They're in a bin somewhere buried. I dug out. I have my old Nintendo. I've got all my old
that's
Nintendo
why
games.
I got this all. I was wondering
Yeah,
where that
you
thing,
borrowed
all of-
it.
Yeah.
It's like the multimeter I never get back to you.
Yeah.
All the way from San Diego.
Yeah.
It ended up in Justin's, yeah.
No, so yeah, but I literally I can't. I swear they were with the rest of my other classic games. I've got all my Nintendo games, all my old Xbox games, all my old Xbox 360. They're all in a shelf.
Right.
None of my 64 games are there.
Hold on, but now let me ask you about this. This you said the company was called Analog 3D, correct?
Yeah, it's called Analog, and it's called the Analog 3D.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do they have to get a license from Nintendo and like let's say Sega and all these other things, or is this proprietary towards Nintendo? Like it only plays Nintendo games, or what? How does it work?
Yeah, so it plays the carts. So it's
But
literally
it's this Nintendo 64.
Yeah, it's not doing any emulation or anything. It's actually fully hardware spec'd. So just here's the brief read from the website.
All
Analog 3D represents a milestone in video game preservation. It's not just reimagining the 64. It's the first fully compatible, hardware accurate recreation, fully compatible with the entire N64 game library.
If you have the games.
If I have the games.
But
So-
I'm looking at pictures of this. It looks like a Nintendo 64. It
Right.
really does, except wireless support.
Do you remember years ago there were games that came out, controllers that were real small that could play ROMs, like old, Nintendo ROMs, and you could have fun with that. But this isn't like that. They must have got some kind of licensing, right? I mean, I would think.
I would imagine so, but
Yeah.
I mean, if
So
you
if
could,
you were to-
You know how litigious Nintendo is.
Yeah, that's true. If you had to replace these games, Shawn, could you do that? Like, I mean,
yeah, if not for a cost.
yeah.
Way more than he invested.
I'm not gonna be happy about it if I have to. They're in my house somewhere, right?
What was the big game on Nintendo 64? Wasn't it GoldenEye?
Yeah.
Was
GoldenEye,
yeah,
Mario
GoldenEye.
64, Perfect
Yeah.
Dark.
Yep.
The
Turok.
Mario Kart of Turok, Perfect Dark,
Pilot
I said
Wing
that already.
64. Hello.
Pilot Wings,
I remember Pilot
Super
Wings,
Mario,
Star Fox 64.
right? You know how it's going to work. When you're not
yeah.
looking for it and you've already, sold the thing again, put it on eBay because you couldn't find your games, then you're going to find the games.
Well, I even have my original 64
Oh, well,
Wait, then why did you buy this?
yeah.
because it's new, it's upscale, it plays it's 4K.
Because it's new. That right there. Right. That's all we had to hear. Because it's new.
Wait a minute. I thought you just didn't have a working 64 anymore.
Oh, it's not working.
So this is why Caitlin's mad at you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you were in the basement with a hoodie and a sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hiding.
Now we understand. He's in the dog.
No, but so the other benefits too are like you can do save files locally too, right? So it's not you don't
that's
have
cool.
to save them just to the cart.
Right.
So if you're having older games that maybe the battery's dead or you can't, there's too brittle to take apart, etc.
Wow.
But
I hope you find them.
so I do too. They've got to be. Like I said, I've got all my other stuff: my PlayStation 3, my PlayStation 2, my Nintendo, my Super Nintendo, all my Super Nintendo Mini, my Nintendo Mini, my PlayStation Mini, all of the old classic stuff that I've got. It's all there, except
so
I've got the controllers, I've got everything else except the actual carts.
Right.
So either somebody ripped me off, one of my friends took them, borrowed them without telling me something. I don't know.
So I'm curious. I'm looking at this though, and it mentions something very interesting about the technology behind it. It talks about original display modes, the new standard for CRT. Remember CRT were the old monitors or the televisions, cathode ray tube. These were what we used to play games on when we had Nintendo 64. We didn't have LCD and OLED and all this stuff, right? So what it's saying here is it's the new standard for CRT perfection in 4K, a museum-grade restoration of analog gaming's most beautiful display technology. It sounds like they're not even they're upscaling maybe the full resolution, but what they're doing is they're introducing almost like a filter to make it look CRT.
Oh,
Maybe.
that's different. Yeah. When do
That's what I'm taking from it.
When do you get it in, Shawn? When is it coming in?
They ship. It says that as long as all the pre-orders ship first, they start shipping backfill on December 2nd. So I should have it in a couple weeks. I hope before.
Well, I
Christmas.
thought you said it arrived yesterday. Oh no, you ordered it.
No, I ordered it yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where I ordered it in my cart and bought it, and they were gone.
Wow.
So if I wasn't right there at 11
Wait, did it
o'clock
just
yesterday morning,
release yesterday?
so pre-orders started shipping like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So the people that pre-ordered it well over a year ago are now getting their models in. That's why I happened to just be I was like, oh, people are getting them. I'm seeing content from them. I'm seeing demos of them. I'm seeing them in the wild, right?
Interesting.
Then I was like, oh, I'll just go check the website. Restock. And then I checked. It was the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
I checked on the 23rd, and I saw that it was I'm kind of I checked, panicked, said I have to get it tomorrow. I'm not going to get it. I don't know if they don't know if they're going to restock again after this.
Yeah, that'd be
So-
kind of cool, though. I hope you find at least one. Do you have one game at least? Or nothing?
I did. I swear I just saw GoldenEye the other day while I was looking and I don't know. I've got about a dozen games and I'm not sure where they're at. So I think at some point I let somebody borrow it.
Right.
Steve, if you're listening, give me my games back.
It's
I'm
always
sure.
Steve.
I'm sure
Yeah.
one of my friends has them because I've had parties with people over. We've played them.
He's
We've
gonna be
played
like,
GoldenEye, we've
oh
played-
yeah, about that. I
He's
kind of
like,
fell on some
"Oh,
hard times. I
Or
had
he
to
said,
go to
"Hey, I
pawn
bought
shop."
an Analog 3D, so now I'm going to play them."
All right. We had a question in from a guy named Martin in Vail. So that's Vail out here. There's a Vail in Colorado, I know, where you are, Justin. It says, I haven't heard you guys talk about this lately, but I'm thinking about getting a smartwatch for the new year. Just around the corner. There could be some good deals on Monday. Who knows? It says, can you guys recommend a brand? I have an iPhone and would love to have it connect. Again, Martin. I know, Justin, you have a lot of experience in that. I have a smartwatch, but I got it before I switched over to Android, but it's an Apple Watch. You had experience with Tick, and you got in on Kickstarter campaigns. Is that still working?
Oh gosh, no, I haven't used Tick for probably 10 years. I don't even know if the company's even still around.
Right.
Honestly, if you're within the iPhone Apple ecosphere, I would say go with the Apple Watch, unless there's a need for more rugged features, such as just rugged features, or if you just like to go out and hike, then I would recommend the Garmin watch. I would, if you're not on Android, I would stay away from the Samsung Galaxy Watch and the Pixel Watch because they are designed for Android. So yeah, I would say either Apple Watch or the Garmin.
The Garmin, I totally forgot about Garmin. Does it have some of the things like, heart monitor and all that
Oh,
stuff?
absolutely.
God,
Garmin has everything.
Yeah, the Garmin's gonna hands down beat the iPhone in terms of health monitoring, health battery is what they call it, tracking, GPS, all
if
that.
If you're an active person, Garmin is by all means Garmin.
I'm fairly certain it ties in with InReach, which is Garmin's platform for their security SOS stuff. I mean, the Garmin stuff is cool. They have a handful of different versions. The Phoenix, a couple other the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. So they're a little bit more stylish, handful more options than the Apple Watch, rounded face plates, etc., bigger, longer battery life.
Yeah.
This guy right here watches. He watches.
So I did a lot of research on watches when I bought my Apple Watch back a handful of years ago, and then I have the Series 8, I think now.
Right.
I don't know. I like the Apple Watch. It does what I need it to do. The frustration I have is with the Apple Watch and iCloud and messaging.
Right.
And this is something that I've written to Apple about it because it's frustrating me so much. Let's say I'm sitting at my MacBook at work.
Right.
And I've got my iMessage open. And I leave my desk and I go into the control room and I'm in a show. If Andy or Justin, you text message me to my Apple account, if my Mac is open, it thinks my MacBook is priority and sends the notification only to my MacBook.
Right.
So it doesn't ping my watch. It doesn't
know
ping
if
my
I like
phone.
that.
I don't. I hated it. So for the longest time, I couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting messages to my phone or getting notified on my watch. Wasn't buzzing my watch because it was pinging to my MacBook, which was open at work. So when the lid was shut, even with the screen locked, it was still pushing notifications to my computer at work. So the way around that is you turn off all notifications to iMessaging on your computer, and it forces it back to your whatever device is active, your watch or your phone.
Right.
Because if you're looking at your phone or your phone's open, it'll ping your phone, ring, etc. If it's not, it'll buzz your watch. So you're gonna have to play with some of the settings like that because that was extremely frustrating to try and figure out. And there's no like blanket setting for Apple to say only push notifications to my phone or my watch.
Are they still doing it that you can actually tie in your cell connection to your watch? I mean, yeah, if your phone's nearby, you could use it, but how about just separately? So you leave your phone accidentally at home, you still have access to.
Well, you have to have a watch that supports cellular.
They do make a cell-based watch. It's a separate plan, right? So it's not like tied to your phone plan. It's a separate SIM, separate phone line, etc.
Right.
But yes, it does do that. So it's like,
all right, cool.
That is nice. So if you don't want to have your phone with you, you can just have your watch and
right. All right. We got to take a quick break. We come back. Justin's been involved in a project that involves leather. So we'll find out what it's all about. Ooh, I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeird.
And I'm Justin Lemmy. Find us on the web at techtalkradio.com. We'll be right back. So you guys know that I love video gaming. We've talked so much about it in the past.
Yeah.
And I have multiple gaming devices. I have the Xbox. I've got a gaming laptop. I got a gaming desktop. And I also have the Steam Deck.
Did I tell you I pulled out my Wii the other day? Wait, that doesn't sound good.
That does not sound right at all.
Dusting off the old Wii.
Can we bookmark that? I'm so glad at your age you're still getting use of it.
But I couldn't connect it to anything. It wasn't.
Sounds like an input-output problem.
Yeah. All right. So good. Let's go on about your thing.
Okay. I don't even know where we left off. I'm like, well, okay, that escalated quickly.
All right.
So I got a
you've
Steam
lot
Deck.
of devices,
So
yeah.
a Steam Deck is like a portable. It's kind of like think of like a Nintendo Switch, I guess, if you haven't seen a Steam Deck, but it's a little bit larger than a Nintendo Switch, and it is designed to play games from the Steam OS. So Valve is the company that makes Steam. Steam is a platform primarily designed for PCs that allow you to purchase games. You purchase games through Steam. You own the license to be able to play the game on Steam. But then they said, you know what? We're going to come out with a handheld. And this was, five?
Yeah,
I think 5 years ago now they've been out. But I got myself a Steam Deck OLED. So OLED is the nicer model. It's true black screen. It's a little bit larger, a little bit better battery life. And I decided I'm getting bored with the way it looks.
Yeah.
And I've been following on Reddit, a subreddit called Steam Deck Modded. And it shows people talking about different ways they've modified their Steam Deck. So if you're watching the video cast of this, you're going to see it right now because I'm going to show it on screen. But what I did with my Steam Deck is I went to dbrand. That's a website, dbrand.com. And I ordered a true real leather skin to wrap around the Steam Deck. And then I did a bunch of other stuff. So there's the Steam Deck now.
Whoa.
That is awesome looking.
Wrapped in real leather. And when I say real leather, I do mean real leather, because if you see the back of this right now, watch what happens when I run my nail across it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
That is real
looks awesome.
leather.
That is
real
really
leather.
cool. Yeah.
So what I also did on top of that was I got custom buttons. So the D-pad, the start, the Steam button, the options button, X, Y, A, and B, and the back button or whatever. These buttons now are copper-infused. So they are resin-based because they have to be resin-based. It can't be true metallic.
Right.
But they have copper infused in the resin. And so what you do with these buttons is you sand them very gently before you put them on. You sand them very gently, and then you soak them in a solution of vinegar and salt for about 24 hours. And what that does is it speeds up the patina process. Now, do you guys know what patina is?
No, what is that?
So patina, think of like something that's old and it's starting to get a little bit green. Think about the Statue of Liberty, right?
Oh, okay, all right,
It's copper based. It came from France. It came in bronze and copper finish, but then over the years it got green. That's patina. So what these buttons will do is over the course of time, now that I've accelerated the process, me just simply using it with the skins, the oil on my skin will get into these buttons and it will cause patina. And the same goes for the leather, having oil on my skin, gripping the console. What I'm hoping to do in the next 6 months or so is by playing this enough, it'll start to have that authentic old finish look to it to make it almost look like a steampunk Steam Deck.
Oh, that's so cool.
That would be cool.
That would be neat.
So this is the beginning stages. It is operational. Now, I do have some caveats to this.
All right.
I also upgraded the joysticks. And so what I did with these are the original joysticks that come with it. I'm sorry, not in this picture. I ordered some new Hall effect joysticks. Now, I don't necessarily understand the whole concept of Hall effect. All I know is that it is a much more sensitive joystick and it lasts a long time without joystick drift, which you get with cheap controllers. So I ordered these things and I popped them in. I had to take off, and I'll show the pictures. I'll put it up on the website or something like that with these pictures. Yeah. But I had to take apart the entire Steam Deck, get into the guts. I pulled out the module for the joystick and I put the new ones in. When I fired it back up, my Steam Deck just kept going, like it would just it was sounding like it needed I was putting input on a joystick. Right. It was giving me that audible feedback. And I'm like, I'm not even touching the joystick. What's wrong? So then I had to go through and I had to use AI over and over, asking questions to AI. What's going on? Here's my symptoms. What's happening? It's like, oh yeah, this happens all the time. Just do this. Nothing worked. Finally, what I did was I swapped out the left joystick with the original joystick that came with it. But I kept the new joystick and the right joystick just because I didn't want to take them both out. When I connected up the original joystick, everything worked fine. So basically what that tells me is I have a bad joystick module that got shipped to me from the factory. So I just did a quick return process on Amazon. It'll take a couple days. I'll get the new joystick, send the old ones back. Boom, I'll be in business with the new. So overall, the Steam Deck itself, this is the Steam Deck OLED edition. This is a 512 gigabyte platform. I also added an extra SD card in it, but we'll not talk about that. This off the shelf is around, what is it, Shawn? 500? I want to say for the OLED 512.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
$599 maybe. Yeah, $599. And then with these add-ons, the deck skin, the touchpad skins, the copper buttons, and the joystick modules, let's talk about another $120.
Right. But it's customized by you.
But it's customized by me. This is my Steam Deck. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
Right. So how long did it take you to do this? I mean, to tear it apart, and did you use the web to kind of step by step?
Yeah, no, I definitely used a couple different YouTube videos on how to take apart the Steam Deck because it is not easy. Right. Now that I've done it, and this is the best part, I did it and I put everything back and I separated all my screws into compartments. Like, okay, this goes on this side, this one. I get done and I put everything back together and I'm left with one screw.
That's how it always works, man.
Always. And so I went to AI and I'm like, okay, I followed your directions, like, cause it sent me the website and everything to follow.
Right.
And I'm left with one screw. What should I do? And it goes, welcome, my child. You are part of the one screw left over club.
Are you using Grok?
Yes. Yeah. It acts like that sometimes.
Yep.
Anyway, but yeah, no, it was a really cool build. It took me, I want to say the better part of 4 hours because troubleshooting, because I did have to troubleshoot for a long time. So let's say 4 hours. Now, if I didn't have to troubleshoot, taking apart this to put the new switches and buttons in and joysticks, let's say 2 hours. And then the skin, about another hour.
Yeah. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, when you want to look up something, what do you do? I said, well,
I grok.
Yeah, lately I've just been going for those that use Chat GPT. That just seems to be a way to get it done. And I mean, yeah, once in a while I'll just go ahead and open up YouTube and I'll look there. That seems to work well too.
What I keep reminding myself with AI when I'm searching for something is that what AI does basically in general, especially Grok. I don't know exactly how ChatGPT works and all this, but I know Grok, it will search websites. It will search 50 different websites, 50 different Reddit posts, 50 different Twitter or X posts.
Right.
And then it aggregates all of that data and it puts it into a concise answer for you. So sure, if you want to go do it yourself, go visit all 50 of those web pages. Mm-hmm. Go visit all 50 of those X posts. Go visit all those Reddit pages and then figure out for yourself. Or take 10 seconds, ask AI, and bam, there's your answer.
I had a project the other day. My son had sent me a graphic. And he said, can you take this, make this transparent? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I've got an older version of Photoshop 5. Put it in there, started working with it. Took me about 30 minutes, and it looked good. But then I thought, I just want to see. And I went ahead and I popped it into, ChatGPT. And I said, can you do this exactly what I did? 45 seconds, it was done.
Mm-hmm.
And
crazy.
It's just the way
but
it is.
But now that photo is used for training.
Yeah, that's true. That's the other thing, which we had a question. I want to make sure we get to this from Adrian in Irvine. So thank you, Adrian. It says, what is your recommendation for a secure email provider? There's news that Google has started accessing Gmail users' private emails and attachments to train its AI models, which I'm not sure if that's the case, but it said my search came up with Proton Mail. And since I'm just a user and not that tech savvy, I'm asking for your advice. I also wanted to know what station we're on in the 92614 area of Irvine. We're not, but we're always
Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify, and you could watch the videos on Spotify now, which is cool. But now, Shawn, you had posted something about Proton, about the email address recycling danger that nerds.xyz had posted, and I didn't get a chance to read that.
So Proton. So there's a concern that Proton Mail is going to start. Basically, if you just type, if you went to Proton Mail and created an account that was just, you smash the keyboard and you hit AFGXY95555, and you use that for like login email for Facebook or a security email for a bank account or something. So it's a randomized email. If it's been dormant for a period of time, they're going to start reclaiming those and then allowing them to be reissued.
Ooh. And give them to somebody else.
So if you can only imagine that if you get a dormant, what happens if they flag a relatively generic email as dormant, recycle it, somebody comes back in, gets it, and all of a sudden you may go and think, oh, my Facebook account from 15 years ago, let me go get back into it, refresh. Oh, I don't have access to that email anymore. Weird. Somebody else gets an email, hey, here's your code to log in.
Yep.
Oh, that's not good.
Right. So that's the concern, is that if that happens, I don't know if it is. This is a blog post on Nerds XYZ. That's kind of scary.
All right. So if you get a Proton Mail, use it. There you go. All right.
Yeah.
But to answer his question, Adrian's question, thank you for listening. And Irvine, by the way. Yeah, Proton Mail is great. I mean, I've never personally used it. I have not a need to use it, but I've heard so many good things about Proton Mail.
Yeah, I know a guy
same.
here at the station uses it, and he's happy with it, and we have an account now, so it might be something to check out. We got to take a quick break. We come back with more of Tech Talk Radio. Justin, you're going to have to give us follow-up once you get those joysticks in, if that took care of that issue.
Absolutely.
We'll be back. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeird.
And I'm Justin Lemmy. Send us an X at Tech Talk Radio. We'll be right back.
For you jet-set travelers, Justin has come up with a website of the week that may just be of interest to you.
We've all had that situation where we have these different credit cards that we have different points, and we want to cash in those points for like travel. But I need 100,000 points to do this, but I only have 80,000 on this credit card, and then I have 20,000 on this credit card. What do I do? Go to point.me.
Point.me, all right?
Point.me. It is a website that basically combines your points. They do take a nominal fee, but they will combine your points together from multiple partners and allow you to purchase that dream vacation you've always been wanting to go do.
How are they able to do that, though?
I don't know, and I don't ask questions.
Yeah, if they get it off City and get it off Discover and whatever.
I just know that, for instance, our good friend Matt Jones, he just flew to Spain for free by using point.me. And well, I shouldn't say for free. Actually, they had to pay their economy fee, but then they got upgraded to business because of point.me.
But you can use points for a hotel too, right? I mean,
you could. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in here.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And they do have like a standard annual, which basically works out to $10.75 a month, $129 annual. You get some extra perks with that, or even the premium is $260 annually or $22 a month. And then you get a bunch of extra stuff with that as well. So you can do the basic, or you can pay for it and you get extra stuff. But yeah, point.me. It's a pretty cool website.
That's a good website. I want to say a shout out to Ruddy Adam or Rud Dayan on YouTube, who made a comment. It was just threw a comment up saying, I like you guys. I thought that was very
appreciate
nice.
it.
That was very nice. Yeah. So thank you very much.
Very nice.
Yeah. Big plans for, as we get into the holiday shopping season. Any ideas what to give as gifts?
Analog 3D.
Yeah, for yourself, right?
Actually, for you, Shawn, Nintendo 64 cartridges.
Yeah. We'll take it. Hey, if anybody listening out there has their kids' old Nintendo 64s, or anybody just doesn't know what to do with them, email us. Give them to me.
We'll start a GoFundMe for you.
I'll stream it. I will plug it in and stream it for you.
Yeah.
So I gotta find them. I'll find them and I'll update you guys in the next couple days. I'm sure. I'm sure they're just buried in a pile of something. I don't know.
Probably. All right. That wraps up this week's Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor.
I'm Shawn DeWeird.
And I'm Justin Lemmy. Once again, find us on the web at techtalkradio.com. Have yourselves a great week. Happy holidays.